What's going on, everyone? So the Los Angeles Clippers have been this just roller coaster ride of a team. They are currently on a 2-game losing streak after just dominating. They went on a 9-game win streak after a 6-game losing streak, and we're just kind of looking like a team that was running through everybody, right? And it looked like, okay, they finally figured it out. They finally got back. I made a video and I talked about some of the teams that they've played, some of the games that they've played, right? Is that something that is worth noting? They had some very notable wins, don't get me wrong, but is this a team that can really contend? Is this a team that is up there with the top teams in the league? Or was it just a great stretch? We've seen even bad, even the Houston Rockets had like a 7-game win streak at one point, right? Like teams have good streaks, teams can win. The Clippers have plenty of firepower. They were putting up, like 140 a game, right? But do things start balancing out, get back to reality, and now you're in this position where it's like, okay, well, now what, right? Like it was just a nice run. Or is the Clippers that great team? The problem isn't that they lost 2 straight. Teams lose 2 straight all the time. It's the fashion in which they lost 2 straight. They lost by nearly 40 at home against the Celtics. Don't get me wrong, the Celtics are the best team in the league this year. They've been clearly the best team in the league. But to lose by 40 to that team, right? And you're at home, you weren't in Boston, and they didn't have Kristaps Porzingis. I understand you didn't have Kawhi Leonard, but 40? Even if you had Kawhi Leonard, I don't think Kawhi Leonard's making up that 40-point loss. And the problem is that the Clippers, the energy was there. Like the team as a whole, they weren't locking down defensively, right? They not only had this bad game in which they lost by almost 40. Again, the problem is the way that they're losing. They give up 134 to the Thunder. The defense isn't there, right? Like to give up 134 points and then follow that up by saying, you know what, 134, that's not enough, right? We need to basically add an extra 10 points and give up 145 to the Celtics. You're not winning games that way. The way that the Clippers were winning and went on that run is they were basically outscoring teams, putting up insane offensive productions, but they were also playing excellent defense. And that was the thing. Can the Clippers continue to play that level of defense? Right? You look at the games in which they won, not all of them, right? Like you look at like that Pacer game, they gave up 127. The Knicks game, they gave up 122. But almost all of their games that they won were blowout wins, right? The Knicks, they win by 22. The Pacers, that game, like I said, they gave up 127, but they score 151. They put up 120 against Dallas, right? The Blazers, they put up 132. But you look at some of like the notable wins, right? They held the Nuggets to 102. They held the Warriors to 112. They held the Jazz to 103. They held the Kings to 99. Hold the Warriors again to 113. Right? But after that, it's like they had that stretch, but then you just saw the defense continue to, all of a sudden it's like, okay, we give up 122. Then we give up 127. Okay, 111. But then we give up 134, 145. They're giving up an average of 127 points over the last like 5 games. It's not good. It's not good at all, right? Like you got to figure this out, right? Again, I understand Kawhi Leonard was out the last 2 games. I'm sure he would have made somewhat of an impact. But is he making up 40 points? I don't think so. Is he the difference in that Thunder game? I don't think so. Maybe, I just, like, Kawhi is spectacular, don't get me wrong. But when you're getting just ran through, right, I don't care how good you are, right? Kawhi Leonard's not slowing everybody down. He may be able to slow one guy down, but he's also not been the defensive guy that he used to be. He's not the same player he used to be. He can still compete with the best of them, don't get me wrong. But this is what I've talked about. Like, if the Clippers can stay healthy, they're going to be tough, right? If they can stay healthy and they can provide, they're going to be tough. But the 2 games without Kawhi, you get blown out. It's not good. And even the games that you did have Kawhi, you still gave up a bunch of points, right? So it's still one of those things. Like the jury's still out, right? And this is what I've talked about the Clippers, and I've gotten some slack over it, Clipper fans and stuff. Oh, well, but you have to show that consistency, right? Like, I understood. I made a whole video, and in that video, people are like, "Oh, you're not giving them credit. No, I believe that this team, if they put it together and figure it out, I mean, this team is stacked. This team should be based on their paper roster, they should be the best team in the league. And yes, a 9-game win streak is nothing to smirk at. It's nothing to go, that means nothing. No, like, their win streak was great. Don't get me wrong, but we've seen many teams that just go on good win streaks, right? That aren't really contender. We've seen even non-contending teams go on extended win streaks. It happens, right? And so the question is, can the Clippers maintain, right? Now, luckily, they have the Hornets, who that should be a let's right the ship type game. That's a game where they should be able to kind of get back into the flow of things. But then you have the Grizzlies. Ja Morant's back. The Grizzlies are desperate, right? They're a team that wants to make the playoffs, or at least the play-in and give themselves a chance. You're at home, but look, Memphis, they're gonna be coming, right? And then you follow that up with the Heat, the Suns, the Pelicans, and then the Lakers and the Suns again. Start January. So you're basically 6 games after the Hornets game. I think that's going to be a real stretch. I've talked about this in other videos, right? I think that that month of January, I think is going to be a real test, right? How do they look during this stretch? Because the Suns are going to be desperate. The Pelicans, you got a lot of road games, right? Even to end that month, you got the Lakers, the Raptors, the Celtics, the Cavs, and the Wizards, right? But the Raptors, the Celtics, the Cavs, and the Wizards are all road games. Now, the Wizards and the Raptors, you should probably win. But the Lakers, the Celtics, and the Cavs, those are 3 teams that could absolutely beat you. So 3 teams that can make things rough. And you have these stretches, right? You have the Nets before the Lakers game, but then you have the Thunder and the Timberwolves. That's, again, another tough stretch. You got the Grizzlies again. Touch game, right? Like, you play the Suns twice that month. You play the Raptors twice that month. It's hard to beat any team in the league, let alone beat a team twice in a couple weeks span. It's going to be very interesting for these Clippers because, look, I've said this and I'm going to keep saying it. Clippers are one of those teams, every year it's their year. Every year you can make an argument that nobody wants to see them in the playoffs and they can win a championship. And every year, I mean, literally the last 12 years, dating back to Lob City, this is a team that you look at and go, man, this year, you got all these experts and everybody talking about, the Lakers or the Clippers. This is the year that the Clippers are going to do it. This is the year that the Clippers, they bring home their first Larry O'Brien. And every year the Clippers disappoint. Every year it seems like they just take that step back. Whether it's through injury or just losing streaks or whatever, right? So I don't believe in the Clippers until they prove to me otherwise. And, everyone was so quick to, Clippers, that's it. Clippers are coming. Best team in the league, right? Watch out. And look, I'm not saying that they're all of a sudden terrible or anything. I think they're still going to be a good team. They should make the playoffs, right? I don't think anybody's going to really want to play them in a playoff series. I think that they could easily, no one would be surprised that they won the championship, right? I'm not trying to say like, oh, 2-game losing streak, that's it. Like, no. But again, you look at the 9-game win streak. They had some notable wins, don't get me wrong, but they had some wins that they should have absolutely had in that stretch. And then, to me, it's not that they lost 2 games. Teams go on 2-game losing streaks all the time. All the time. To me, that's not the problem. To me, the problem is the way that they lost. The manner in which they lost. That's where the problem lies. That's where my issue and concern is. Because they didn't just lose. They got blown out. And if you look at the handful of games before this blowout, you almost saw it coming. That 9-game stretch, they were playing excellent defense, holding teams very reasonable. Right? And then you just saw the progression. 120 points, 122, 127, right? Oh, now 134, now 145. It's like that's not a way to win basketball games. Like if the Clippers are just trying to outscore teams, they're probably not winning anything this year. They need to have that balance. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion, so I pass the question on to you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? How do you feel? Think do you buy the Clippers? Do you believe in the Clippers? Do you think no? You know, they had a great run, but reality's setting in. Like I said, I think the month of January is going to be very telling. I think we're gonna find out how good this team really is, right? But anyway, again, love your thoughts and opinions, however you feel, down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me out a lot. Lets me enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button, turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.